Nah, it's going now. I got it now. It's my mic is working again. OBS is just being weird. Actually, that's not true. I think my mic came unplugged, and then OBS was like, "Well, you have all these other sources of sound that could be what you want, right?" And no, they're not what I want. So, the god who you might worship, Kathan, is a overgod, one of the highest level. There are minor gods below most of these gods that do more specific aspects and are sort of lower fragments of power. The most common that almost everyone's going to know about is the Raven Queen, which is a goddess of death, and she is underneath Silence, who is the god of like all death and sort of over her. And the god that you were spoken to about is Savas, spelled like that. He is the highest level god of war and of storms. All right. And with that, we get started. I'm digging the music, so you might need to refresh. It might just be taking its time loading in, or you might need to refresh. For everyone else, oh, I'm sorry, Connor. What did you do? Did you just like select all the screen until you saw? So I think try to make like a big, try to make like a big selection box, like you're selecting someone, and you should be able to find your character, your token, and Rockgut, Warden, and Vinny. You all just heard an alarm spell as well. What are y'all doing? Okay. Sure, I'm gonna let you figure that out. Warden, what are you doing while he's figuring out the radius? Okay, so y'all are going into that room. You're preparing your spell. You do. Can you link the spell so I can read it? And I'll tell you if it's like gonna go into all the different rooms or something, even if you just cast it in this room. I would think it would. I just wanna. Yeah, I would think it would. I just want to be sent it. Okay. So you just need to point where you're casting it because it's a 20-foot sphere around it, right? Why is that? Oh, because you're casting at second level? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, well then still give me the point where you're casting it, and then if you can try to like do some rough markings 40 feet out for where the edges would be, just like the north, south, and east and west exits would be great. Edges would be great. Sure. I was actually just thinking about that because as y'all are all running around the corner, you hear sounds from that hole as a door below you is being opened from outside, and you hear a voice go, "What the fuck?" Probably looking up at the hole, and it is. Was it this one right here? No, it was this. He knocked two over. And it was over here, right? Or did he knock this one over and it was already combined? Can you remind me? Yeah, so it was this one down at the bottom. So the hole is going to be. I'm gonna say that is it's over. Whoa, that's not what I was after. That was awesome though. Do y'all see that? I don't know. We're gonna experiment with that going forward. Here's where the hole is. It's around 5 feet. It's not a perfect circle because I'm not a perfect drawer. While Sam is figuring out the radius of his spell, what are y'all talking about? I'm gonna go ahead and say that Silky probably also coming in here. Let me check. I think at this point it's actually probably ended. Let me just check duration on that. Yeah, only 10 seconds. It's over. You did. If you give me the center part where you're casting it. Oh, you're right on the hole. Okay. Cool. Okay, where are you going? That's south. It affects everyone equally. And Rocket has not announced that he casts a spell, to my knowledge. So you all heard an alarm go off and ran in here, and as you ran in, fog begins to fill the room and leaking out around the corners. The fog is all coming from the south near the doors. All right, everyone's moving at half speed, and it's gonna need to be a little bit of time. So you all, actually, I'm sorry. You keep it up. Decide what you're gonna do. So I'm sorry. Where is she going? Hang on. I think I need to put darkness over an area. So the fog has filled the area, and y'all can't see anything. You hear the sound of someone on stairs. Shouting from the south, you hear a "What the fuck?" as the man is likely encountered some of the fog. That is a window. You're able to break this easily. You just went through a magical door like butter not long ago, and you get through. The tree is about that far from you. Yeah, 20 feet. These are nice trees. Little too pink for your taste, maybe, but not very thick. These are not like large forest trees. These are more decorative around an estate. You hear a voice yell from the top. Oi, Samuel, you up there? Roll deception. That was Morteza. Through sheer luck, you've managed to match the cadence of a man's voice, or at least get close to the cadence of a man's voice that they haven't heard about, or maybe they don't know him that well. It's hard to say, but they bought it. Sam! What's all this fog? What was that sound? What's going on? It's coming out of the fucking study. I thought this was locked. Is it safe to go in? Well, what are you saying? You're just saying no? Your accent is slipping in. Roll deception. Roll deception again. You don't know that they haven't bought it yet, Warden. Just FYI, talking and planning takes time. You're all talking right now. And remember, a round is a second. Or I'm sorry, a round is 6 seconds. It's time to make some choices. All right, I'm gonna take. I don't know what you're aiming at here before you ever rolled. Yeah, I went through a bunch. You crit one of them. On average, your rolls were pretty good. The first one was the worst by far, though. It's okay, because what are you aiming at? This is not. You're not rolling to hit something, right? If you're just casting it on the building. But because you rolled a 1 in damage, I might say that this is a little bit. You're panicked. You're moving fast. This is a little bit smaller flame than you're used to, or you could do if you were focused. So what are you throwing it at? You can't see the desk. You can't see the desk. Okay, do it with disadvantage because you cannot see through that fog. Yeah. Okay. 13 and you're aiming at the desk. So you're trying to aim over here. And a little bit of a wall in the way, and 2 people. You're able to get around. You're able to get around Rockgut and Silky, but it is going into the room not quite at the angle that you wanted it to go to. And through the fog, you hear, "Ow! What the fuck?" Roll damage. Then not on those ones it didn't. So just press one of them. Okay. And now you're all right. They've got to be at the other door. We rush them now. Actually, where are y'all all standing? Where you are? Okay. Warden, roll an athletics check. Morteza roll a dexterity saving throw. Okay. So you're able to barely grab onto one of the branches, and you're swinging back and forth as he's hurtled you out the window. Unfortunately, he didn't quite get you, all the way to the true trunk of the tree, or the center of the tree, which he was aiming for, I'm assuming. And so you're swinging on one of the branches. You're a little bit farther out. It's kind of a thin branch. And we're going to come to you in a second. You are now over here. Great work. And I found you. Silky is getting attacked. Now, this one person is going to get a surprise attack on Silky, and everyone else is going to roll initiative. And you hear like a burp come from the same man. I think Silky just got one shot by that crit. Actually, wait. I need to give him disadvantage because he's shit-faced. This particular character is drunk. It doesn't seem to matter. He's rolling 20s. She's taking... Heavily obscured? What's heavily obscured even do? Just gives disadvantage, right? Sucks into blind condition. Well, but attack rolls against the creature have advantage because Silky's also blinded and is in the fog still. So that nets out, but he is drunk, so he has disadvantage. Silky's taking 23 damage. All right. Now everybody go ahead and roll initiative. You hear her cry out as a spear comes out and stabs you. I'm sure she'd be saying something along the lines of these fuckers are here, or something like that. Hang on, there's 2 of everyone in here. I'm just gonna delete. Now you should be good. Go ahead and roll initiative. Might be a little strong, bud. Somebody already roll for Salros? Thank you. Can someone now roll for Silky? Unfortunate. Yeah, they are. The first guard is going to take his turn. Where are they, Regal? You spot him? There's one right here in front of me. He's gonna like fumble his way through the fog, and he finds the wall next to Benny. And he is gonna take a swing at Benny with disadvantage. Swinging through the fog, you hear a clang as metal strikes into the wall next to you. Do you find one? He's running over towards the sound. Make a stealth check if you're trying to be real quiet. You don't. No, it's not your turn. You've cut your hand over your mouth, but as the sword, you hear it whooshing over your head, and it strikes the wall. You go, ah! You let out a little whimper of noise, and another guard says, "I heard him!" And he takes a swing, swishing through nothing, also missing you, as he still can't see you. Regal laughs. I fucking got her. I can see the blood on my spear, barely. Hang on. He's gonna roll a con save. I'm gonna be okay. And he's gonna take one attack, which misses. Vinny. Oh, it was against Soki, but it was a 10. He's still aiming for the spot where where he heard someone. All right. So next up, it is all of your turns. And it is, but because this is like a party thing and y'all might be getting each other's way here, we can either say 1, no, you can get through the door while Rocket's there without problem, or 2, we can reorganize turns, and you can just decide amongst yourselves very quickly the order that y'all are going to go in just your block. Just your block of turns. You should still be able to get by. You can move through allies because it's a game, and that makes sense. Like, you kind of get out of the way. You do have a bleeding Silky next to you, and you can't see where anyone is. Would be the reason I'd say you might run into someone. But I'm also personally not bothered if you wanted to say like Rocket goes first and he jumps out the window, because this is a block of all 6 of y'all, so I'm not super bothered by it. Sure. You want Silky to go right now? All right, Sam. What's Silky doing? Make a stealth check. Make a stealth check as she moves, if she's trying to be quiet so they don't hear her moving. She would still have to make a stealth check because they could still hear her and they would take the opportunity to swing at that spot. But yeah, she could turn invisible as well. The cloak would help a lot, actually. Well, no, you're getting disadvantaged no matter what. No, it's +1 AC in a wooded area. It's blur or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. She is blur. It's not. It's an instantaneous decision, and it can be done as a free action, as a reaction to an attack she sees coming. Unfortunately, she did not see this coming. The first attack, at least. And she needs to roll a stealth check. She still needs to roll a stealth check. Do I need to roll it for her, Sam? That ain't great. That is not ideal. You hear the sounds of some grunting from behind her, and one of the other guards is like, "Get it together, Regal. Jesus Christ. I hear something!" And it's taking a swing. 13 hit? I don't think so. Okay. I already took her health down. She was at 11, yeah. Oh, you got put back up. That's on her sheet. On roll 20, I had her at 11. Yeah, it did. I think I think that's what she was at on her sheet. Vinny, it's your turn now. You push Silky along. What are you doing? One of the guards, the guard to your south, you heard take a swing. Off to your right a little bit, you heard some vomiting. Okay, so she's jumping out that window. Okay. Is that a bonus action? Roll a dex saving throw for jumping out the window. Great roll. She's able to land. It's about a 25-foot drop. She's able to land and roll, and she's good to go. Safely out in the open. She's now going invisible. Down below y'all, you can see some blood underneath her that would help to track her position, but she is invisible. Hang on. She does now. For the jump, that is some time to jump down 20 feet, and that's going to come out of her movement. Like, I will say, because you're jumping down, not up, like half of it's coming out of your movement, so she can get about 50 feet. So actually, pretty much right to there she can get, not quite around the corner. And as she's running, she goes invisible, and you can see like some sprinkles of blood going that way, but you don't see her anymore. Morteza, you are watching all of this and just thinking, that seems bad. I imagine. Benny, what are you doing? Morteza is holding onto the tree. Well, he was thrown directly to the tree. He would have had to have made a very impressive. He would have had to have made a very impressive jump to get that far himself. You are about 15 feet up off the ground. Feet. I think it's still Vinny's turn, but we're going to get to you in a second. So Vinny, you push Silky along. What are you doing now? Make a stealth check with advantage because of trickster. To not make noise. Make sure you're tracking how far you can go. So 20, 30 to get to here effectively. You rolled a 16 on stealth. And that is going to do it, I think. Yeah, you're good. You're very quietly, now you're covering your mouth with two hands as you like duck down and run out, not making a sound. Unfortunately, as you go by Rock Gut, he slams into the wall and makes a loud noise. Nice ponytail, Sam. Now, you're able to jump out the window. Go ahead and move where you're going to. Okay, so you're right here. Yeah, sorry. Do a dex saving throw. to jump those 25 feet. You do not land well as you jump down, and you are going to take... It's 25 feet. Take 5 damage. But you're up, and you're moving. So you land. Oh, I feel like you landed pretty poorly. You basically like superhero pose. It looks really cool, but it kind of hurts. You get up. You're like shaking your knuckles. Your knee is bleeding a little bit. You can feel through the pants. Soki could be anywhere. And you're below Morteza. Morteza, you just watched all that happen. What are you doing? Okay. Are you going to try to have Vinny catch you, or are you just trying to land on your own? He is offering. Okay. Okay. So you let go. You're falling about 15 feet. I'll let you roll a dex saving throw to try to be like, not awkward as you fall. Nice. And I'll let Vinny make an, I want to say it's either an athletics or acrobatics check. I will let it be up to you, actually. I'm going to say either is fine here. Okay, athletics check to try to catch him. You're able to catch him. He's right, you know where he's going to fall. And he tries to fall in such a way that he's not going to like kick you in the face, right? Unfortunately, your knee's still bothering you a little bit. And as he falls into your arms, you catch him and you kind of fall backward and smack your head into the ground. But Mortez is fine. You're going to take... You are prone and you're going to take 1d3 damage. 1 damage. So not too much. Not too much. And we'll say you're not like fully prone. You like land on your ass. You're not like laid out on your back, and Morteza is comfortably in your arms. Morteza, your hands are still full of everything you pulled out of that area, as well as unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say that you left all of your clay pots in the study as you were searching it, and you did not have the opportunity to collect them again. But you have the 2 pouches, you have a scroll, and you have the small box that you're like all holding in your arms. Vinny does still have the bag. All right, what are you doing? It's your turn. You still have movement left, and you can also opt to help Vinny up real quick if you want. Okay, you're up here. Your turn is actually already gone. Betsy, what are you doing? Oh, got it. Morteza, are you moving, or what are you doing? Okay, you helped him up. You pulled him up to his feet, no problem. He was on his butt. I'm not going to say that's an action. It's just a little bonus action to get him on his feet. What are you doing? You have movement left. You have a spell left. Yeah. Okay. Are you gonna ready in action to do something? Well, you could ready in action if an enemy appears at the window, for example. Do you have any spells that could like block the window after your last friend jumps through? So you want to ready a fear spell? Okay. He. You have fear? Oh, you do cause fear. Huh. Okay. Yeah, your disguise self is still on. It has about a little under 15 minutes left. It is now Saros' turn. I imagine he's also jumping out the window. Does Saros have any spells that he should cast while he's running out? That's his. This, and he could cast it one more time, and it would be his last. Actually, did he already cast it? Since he cast it while he was talking to the guards, I think. Yeah, I think it was enhance ability, and it's concentration for an hour, and y'all are all still disguised. So in my mind, he should still have it if he already cast it on himself. But I think he cast specifically the one that was charisma checks. I doubt it was for dexterity. Mm-hmm. I'll say you could use your reaction to like as he's running at you to try to launch him further. Are you aiming for anything as you do it? Okay. So we'll say Saros is hauling ass out, and as he goes, Warden fucking helps toss him. Warden make an athletics check, and he's going to make a dex saving throw. You're not having the best time aiming for this tree, buddy. Oh, 13. All right, great. So, Vinny, as you've been pulled up and dusted off, you hear a sound coming in, and he's able to latch onto the branch above, and you hear it as the branch starts to sound like it's about to break. And he is swinging violently from that branch. And he moved about this far. He still has some movement left. So you want him to drop? Okay. So you tell him to let go? Alright, he needs to roll another dex saving throw. Are either of you two going to help him? Okay, so you're not going to try to help catch him like you did Morteza. It's your decision entirely. You have a reaction. Chris is holding his for a spell. You can try to guide him here. Otherwise, he's going to drop, and I'm going to roll to see if he lands on one of you anyways. You have a reaction still. Okay, make another athletics check. And I'll make a dex saving throw for him. Oh, you did it, and that's fine. 15 from him, 8 from you. So, do you say anything to him? Does he know to aim for you? Did you say anything to him or no? You're holding your arms out or something? Okay. Well, he is pretty graceful, actually, despite how his momentum, and he's able to fall and land not on you, but like kind of like along with you, and you still catch him and like brace him, and you almost fall, but you're able to stay standing this time because he rolled better on his dex saving throw. And this music is odd. Warden, it's your turn. Yes. So Raka, you're going now. Draw where you're casting that for me, please. So it's where you are right now, or it's over a little bit to the right of where you are? Okay. That's fine. Warden, make another athletics check. So unfortunately, I don't know how to get rid of the darkness I just put over that place. It's good that y'all are leaving, but as you cast that spell, the fog disappears very quickly. But in its place, 7 sharp thorns or small twigs, all sharpened to a point. Yeah, is that why you were collecting these twigs? All the twisted twigs are gone? Okay. Normally they can be camouflaged to look natural so people don't see the area, but this is inside a house upstairs, and it is very apparent. It's very apparent that this is no longer the nice wooden floor that was there as you ran through it. And we all kind of like look, and as the darkness goes away, you hear, "What the fuck is going on? There's spikes now!" And you are going to make a dexterity saving throw as you get launched out the window. Unfortunately, with this throw, not true. You're excellent at launching. You're so good at launching that you have overshot the tree entirely. Rockgut, you've been thrown pretty far, and you're 25 feet up in the air, but you are preparing yourself to make an excellent landing. You are still going to take 1d6 points of damage instead of 2d6. It's 4 points of damage. And you land over... Honestly, you land farther than the map actually extends to, so I'm going to put you there. And Warden, it's your turn. What are you doing, Warden? You can now. Yeah. So you see 3 men. Two of the guards that you've already run into. Just going to describe them now that whenever you can finally see them. 2 of the guards that you've run into that are in a splint mail. They look very similar to the man that was left smiling and happy downstairs. And they look to be pretty pissed. One of them has a bottle of half-drank, looks to be liquor, in his hand and an easy grin on his face. He's got long black hair that looks like it's bunched up behind him, and a goatee coming down a little bit, and a spear that is very bloodied at the tip. He's like, "Oh my god. What the fuck are these spikes?" So, what are you doing? The drunk one's the one that smacked the fuck out of Silky. FYI. He is drunk, but he's also really strong. So he's getting Hunter's Mark. All right. Okay. No, that was what I was going to ask for. And so you jump out, you get pretty far. You hit the same branch that you've been barely aiming people at this whole time, and you are able to like get your hand on it, and you swing forward, and you just as the branch just comes clean off after having two people thrown at it, now experiencing a 200-ish pound Warforged, I'm sure if not more. That's too much for that branch, and now you're gonna need to make a dex saving throw with disadvantage, as the branch is just broken. Doesn't matter for you though. Do you want to like? I'm sure you get the image of like swinging on monkey bars, and you go forward, and that's when the branch breaks. So you're actually able to still land very well, and you're only going to take 1d6. Do you want to describe how you're nailing this landing? So Warden coming up, still in a hero pose, branch still clutched in both hands, looks back at Vinny and is talking some shit apparently. And you're over. I'm just gonna say you're over. Probably over right about here. And you use your bonus action, right? That's not an action. I'll say you still have about 20 feet of movement left if you want to go somewhere. No one is prone. Vinny was pulled up by Morteza. Y'all are all standing. Silky is invisible somewhere that you don't know. You still have your action. If you use it for movement, you're getting nerfed down to 20 feet. You can. A lot of your friends are on the other side of this tree from you. So where are you going to try to push it over? Yeah, you could totally do that. It might hit Saurus on the way, but okay. Make an attack against the tree. That hits. Hang on, I gotta look up. I can't believe I'm saying this. I gotta look up. Actually, I said it hits. I gotta look up tree stats for 5e. Not an awakened tree. Yeah, honest. A lot of things that are not just a tree just came up. Okay, so it's got an AC of. This is an awakened tree. I just want a normal tree. It hits still. Go ahead and roll damage. Hang on. Did you have Shatter Spike out while you were jumping towards the tree? Because you'd have to put the branch down and draw your sword and swing all in one go. Without a bonus action, I don't think you can do all that. If you still had your bonus action, I'd say it would do both, but I don't think so. All right, which way are you running? Okay. One of the guards. You hear some clatter upstairs. We gotta go after him. We actually did your turn early. Because Vinny was trying to push you forward and say, go, 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 go. And since y'all are all in one exact stat block of like orders, I said that it's okay to go in a different order this time. Sure. So, at the end of last session, an alarm spell went off when one of the cubbies was opened. And y'all all freaked out about this. ran into the study from where the alarm still was emanating. It only lasted about 10 seconds. You heard a guard come inside through the hole in the floor that was made by acid, and you heard some sounds of someone on stairs. And Rocket cast a large fog spell. I don't remember what it was called, to obscure the whole area, which led to a very confusing moment where y'all were frantically talking about what to do. When you broke a window and started talking about, like, we got to get out of here. And unfortunately, in the time it took you to talk, 3 guards made it upstairs, one of which seems noticeably stronger than the other, but is also shit-faced. They said his name was Regal. And you have all jumped out the window. Regal attacked you through the fog with disadvantage, and your back is very fucked up. You were hit twice by a spear. That hurt pretty bad. You're down to 11 health. You are bleeding and invisible at the northern point of the mansion as Sam cast Hidden Step. And that's where we're at right now. He's cast something to try to keep them from being able to get through. And we're going to see how they do now, getting through the area. So let's see here. 20 foot, difficult terrain. Every 5 feet they go, they take 2d4. So Regal's going to smack one of them on the butt and be like, yeah, get up there, come on. And 1. Oh, ow, ow. Takes 6 damage. Oh, ow, fuck. You hear as he moves forward again. I don't think I can do this anymore. And you hear a man chuckling like, "Go on!" and another sound, and a man gets booted forward 10 feet, and he'll take. He falls forward, and you hear "Ah!" as he lands kind of on his side after getting kicked into the spikes. And he's not getting up, from what it sounds like. You don't know what happened. You just don't hear him moving anymore. And you hear, ooh, I don't think I'm going that way. And it sounds like they are retreating. And it's Vinny's turn. What are you doing? You don't see Sophie. You see some blood that seems to imply a direction. If you roll perception, I'd say you can see the blood where it's going, but you can definitely see a little bit of blood at the base of the window. Sure, roll perception. You have no idea where Sophie went. You can still see some blood. You see some blood pooled under the window, but that could be anyone's blood. Okay. I don't think we are anymore, because if y'all all are agreeing to take this turn to full dash and get the fuck out, and especially split up, then these guys are gonna at about the end of their next turn barely get outside the house at nighttime and not see where you went. So. Oh, is that what everybody's doing? Okay. Are y'all all running together, or are you gonna split up and reconvene? Okay. You're also invisible, so I think you're good to go on not worrying about grouping with anyone. Okay. So you all start full booking it through the neighborhood. Again, this is a very nice neighborhood with guard patrols. So tell me the direction you all are running in. We're going to move back to the city map so we can talk about that. Is that the breakout we're doing? Okay. So we're going to say y'all were here. That's the house. Which direction is everyone running? So we all started going north, and then are you breaking out in separate areas? The safe house is the second smaller one that I have down here. That is the hotel, the worst hotel that y'all changed at. You see it? The other circle. The one I'm messing with. Sure. So you have a northern, in the north, by the arena. If you zoomed out, that is your hotel you're actually all staying at. Old Bills. And the south, you'll see three circles. One very large one. That's the neighborhood you were in. The smaller circle is the house you were at. And the smaller circle to the far south is kind of a shitty-ish neighborhood. As you get a little further into it, that has a dinky hotel that you stayed at. And also is around the same area where Salrez lured some guards to meet some prostitutes. I gotta say, I really thought that was gonna last a little longer. Y'all escaped very fast. Although you may yet encounter some guards. So what is happening? Okay. So you're invisible and you have no problem making to that forested area. Let's say roll a stealth check with advantage, just to make sure that you're not like drawing attention to yourself as you try to move through some crowds that are still out and about, even this late, preparing for the festival. Oh, how long does it last? Just like a round? Oh, okay. So you come back into visibility, and we'll say then that you move a little slowly. I'm assuming you want to not be like stand out, right? Even with you are still disguised though. Boulder lives. So you're able to like kind of like try to not draw attention to yourself, but you're definitely hurrying as you make it over to that forested area. Your disguised self has about 5 minutes left, if that. So if you wanted to drop it now and try to go about as a furbo, you could. You are very injured. You might want to try to also stop the bleeding before you. Okay, so make a medicine check, and we'll say if you don't have that ring anymore actually. Make a medicine check to see if you can stop the bleeding, and you also have the option of trying to drink a health potion just to like slow it down, if you have one, which I actually have no idea if you do. Okay. Unfortunately, you aren't able to quickly stop the bleeding. But if you want to take some time in the area and just like lay low, you would be able to bandage it. It would take you about 30-ish minutes, if not longer. So I'll come back to you in a second to let you know. Yeah, what's happening. But for now, you're over there and you tried and you haven't quite been able to stop the bleeding just yet. Rocket, where are you headed? Can you use the snapping tool, just kind of like point in a direction? If you click no snapping on it, it's going to let you just draw wherever. So you're going over here, like to the wall, or are you going like up here? Okay. As you get to this northern part, there is a guard patrol going this way, and you spot him for the first time. And do not let anyone else let what I just said influence your decision on where you're headed, because you don't know that yet. So you are going to have to make, if as you go that way, you see the patrol coming towards you. You're not injured, thankfully, but you would need to make a stealth check to keep it subtle. So the second you spot the guards, you decide to stay here instead? Okay, as you get to street, alright. That's fine. So you're waiting. Morteza and Warden, where are you going? Okay. I'll say the only direction that's kind of not an option from that house is straight south. Because you'd have to go by the door again. Okay, can you just draw an arrow? No snapping, and it'll let you draw wherever. So the guard patrol is right about here at the moment. But there is another guard patrol over here. I'll get rid of it. So you do the measuring tool. You do the ruler, and instead of snap to center, you hit no snap, no snapping, no snapping. Okay, so you're headed over there. So are y'all just full booking it, or are you trying to like not draw attention to yourselves as you move? Kind of sounds like you're full booking it, but it's your call. Well, he's in a large cloak still. Kinda, yeah. Kinda, yeah. Okay. Stealth with disadvantage then. Or not maybe stealth isn't quite the right roll. It's not deception though. Yeah, stealth. Stealth with disadvantage from both of you. I got wardens. And I got an 8 from you and a 14 from you. Okay. So you both go, and you're fast walking. You know, you're getting a real power walk on as you try to book it through the city. Warden, you know, plenty of travelers wear cloaks nowadays. You don't really seem to draw too much attention to yourself. Saros, you're going, and you're like a little frantic. Maybe the pots that you had to leave behind are still bothering you or something. You still have all this shit in your arms. So some people turn their heads and see you walking off. You are wearing a disguise still. No guard patrols have noticed you, as the next guard patrol is over here. You're with Saros, and now where are you going? Show me where the one you're going to is. Okay. So you're going to pass a pretty, for the time of night, still relatively busy road. You're well ahead of the guard patrol, and you need to roll stealth if you're trying to not draw attention to yourself as you head that way. If you are not worried about drawing attention to yourself, I'll let you go a little bit further, and you will say that then you can change your disguise. if that's what you're trying to do. Okay, so roll stealth. I'll roll for Salros. You just a normal stealth roll. Unless you're also trying to move very quickly. Are you trying to move fast or no? I guess it doesn't matter. It's a 9 either way for you. 9 and a 5. Maybe it's you two's natural charisma, but you're heading through, eyes tall. Maybe it's the slight limp you've picked up from how you landed, but you do see some people like turn to notice you as you both just are like hurrying through. I believe Saros is still disguised as a buxom tavern wench. That could also be part of it. I imagine. What's your disguise? As you make it across the street, you hear some whispers like, "Is it probably rushing off to find an inn?" If you know what I mean. And you're able to get into that area, and you may recast Disguise Self, if that's what you're doing. Or you're doing Blessing of Trickster. Saros has another casting of Disguise Self that I imagine he's using at this point. Okay. Got it. So you both use another first level spell, and you've changed your disguises. You want to just tell me what you might look like, or? Okay. Very doable. You transform. Who's the man? Who's the woman? That's a fair point. He did a very good job just a moment ago. So you both change, graying hair. You've got your little balding a little bit, and Saros has a nice big bun back up behind him. You're in very nice clothing, probably fitting for the district. Some illusionary jewelry on you both. Perfect. You have a very natural look of someone that has the aches and pains that come with old age, as you both are able to essentially make it back out onto the street. And I'm assuming you're both just going to kind of like slowly walk without drawing attention to yourselves back towards the house. No problem. So I'm going to wrap up y'all's before I go to the other ones. So you are going to then go essentially around here, and you get to here. You get to here, and you start to see some guards ahead of you rushing in to the neighborhood, and you begin to hear some whispers from the crowd that there's a fire at one of the houses nearby, probably from Orteza's produced flame. Could be any fire. Could be a different house. And now I'm going to jump back to Rockgut. So you see the guards walk by. They make it a little ways down the street. And okay, so make a stealth check to get by them without drawing attention. What do you look like again? Your disguise is like a halfling? Okay. So you come scurrying out of the alleyway, but as you go, your cloak catches on a gutter that you were crouching nearby. It pulls you back a little bit, and you know, like the fabric rips a little bit, and the two guards kind of like turn back and see you. Are you still headed that way? Now there doesn't appear to be anything alarming them yet. They have not reacted to the fire yet, as we're not really there just yet. Just keep going. Okay. Are you running now afterwards, or are you just walking? All right, you're good to go. They saw you though. They definitely saw you, and you're good to go. Yeah, you make it to the wall. You have. You're not. You're not disguised self. You're just disguised. So yeah, you made it to the wall. You can see another guard patrol coming up from the south as you make it there. A little ways down the street, looks like about 3 men. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's a much less crowded street compared to the one you just came off of, and most of the main streets, which are very well like treed, I guess I'd say. So if you were to go down this way, you would be like, you see about maybe 4 or so people you think you can make out, and a ways off you can see the patrol of 3 guards. So it wouldn't be a lot of people, and it would be very hard for them to not notice you. That is actually yeah, it's I mean, it's decent. It's middle class neighborhood with a lot of shops, including the place you bought your tinker's tools earlier. So a little bit more familiar of a neighborhood, you'd say. And you would remember this from your time walking around there during the day. A lot less guard patrols. Okay. Sounds like Rocket forgot in his panic. Okay, so you headed back to your original hotel, or are you just strolling around in your disguise? Okay. There's some guard patrols here, but it's also still like a little bit of a crowd, and you wouldn't really have too much of a problem blending in with them. It's the circle, it's all drawn. Okay, it's the northernmost one. Right here. Yeah, no, I know. That's why, yeah, you're fine. That is the hotel you're actually staying at, or the inn you're actually staying at. You're good to go. You've made it to a relatively safe area. Once you got to the main area, maybe some people saw a halfling, but I didn't see a gnome. And now we're back to Morteza and Warden. Y'all are in the northern part of the forest. Y'all are in the northern neighborhood, right, with the Tinker's Tools-ish area. Okay. So as y'all get there, you have a second to gain your bearings. You can see a lovely older couple walking by you. What are you doing? That's a big loop. That's an enormous loop. So you want to head like over here? Okay, so you head over here. Not a problem. You see a little, like, a youngish, younger boy. Boy to you. Technically, he'd be considered an adult in this world. Looks like a runner for the guards. You see him pass you as you try to stroll casually on some of these streets. Stop and talking to a guard patrol, and as you walk by them, you hear "There's a fire over there. I'm just letting everyone know. A couple of patrols are going to look at it. If you want to head that way and make sure, look out for anyone running away or securing the area." They nod, and another patrol is gonna start diverting off towards that area, and now it is Silky's turn. Unfortunately, as Betsy just blocked off. Oh, there you are. All right, so you. Okay, so as you spent some time, like, you weren't quite able to recover. You spent some time catching your breath, and you can hear some commotion coming from the park, from the street next to the park, as there's some yelling about a fire happening in the neighborhood. What are you doing? Yeah, make a perception check. Nice. Despite the very low light, you can see from some of the torches that the guard patrols are carrying. The guards are headed into the neighborhood, and you're able to see some, like, a decentish sized crowd. There's a couple groups out and about still walking. You can see some craftsmen, likely similar to the man that you spoke with the day before about the festival, that look like they're headed to the southern district. You see a nice old couple walking slowly, arm in arm, down the laneway. You see a few more people off to the east of you than the west. So it's less crowded near the large neighborhood, more guards. Less guards, more people to the east and south. You're just going to a tavern where y'all bought a room. You are still bleeding, and your disguise has dropped. You are a large blue furbolg for all the world to see right now. Are you not blue? You've got some purplish hue. You know, it's on your back. Not a lot of people see it. Yeah, exactly. So you could try to continue to hide here and stop the bleeding. You could kind of, like, try to blend in with the crowd, and like slowly make your way around and back to it, or you could head more directly to it quickly or slowly. Okay. It's going to take about 15-ish minutes, we'll say, for you to really, like, make sure it's all, like, wrapped up and you're good to go. And I'm going to need you to make some stealth checks, 2 separate stealth checks, specifically to try to make sure no one's noticing you in the foliage. Mm-hmm. Sure. So 2 stealth checks, and I'll take a perception check with disadvantage. 2. Well, the natural 20 was to look around and see things. You don't get to then add on, like, well, what did I hear? So, no, you do, but you're also trying to hide and make sure you don't get spotted. And unfortunately, that's not super conducive to also getting close enough to overhear the gossip. So you are like crouched down in some bushes. You see a guard patrol rushing by with a torch, and you try to stay low and hope they haven't seen you. You think you might have spotted some passing by peasants like look over as some of the bushes rustled, and one in particular is like looking up and in for a minute before he walks off and continues down the road. You don't hear anything, but you haven't been spotted by the guards, at least. You may have been seen by a passerby. And yeah, you're good to go. Your bleeding is done. You can try to make your way back if you'd like. Okay. I'll take one more stealth check as you exit the foliage to try to look natural about it. Alright, so you kind of like look out, think it's clear, stroll out of the foliage, and right as you do, a group of about 4 people, not guards, just citizens, walks out and looking right at you as you've stepped out. Ew. Taking a nap in there? Roll deception. All right. We look at each other. It's furbolgs, man, I guess. Yeah. Enjoy the festival. And with that, you can make your way back. As all of you, I'm assuming, are making your way back, except Rockgut. You are now, after, we'll say about like an hour and a half it takes for Warden and Morteza to complete their very large loop. Saros and Vinny make it back to there first as a happy old couple. No one is waiting for you. You don't need to RP out since Clark's not here, but is there anything you're talking about as you wait? Just like topics or what you might be thinking? What would you be talking about? Or would you just be waiting in silence? Okay. That's fine. I'm assuming... Okay. Are you talking to the bag, or are you just commenting on the bag to Saros? Yeah. Okay. So, Silky, you make it back. Or, I'm sorry, Warden and Mortez, are y'all talking as you walk? He's still carrying it, but oh no, you gave that all to Warden, right? You're not carrying it now. Okay, wise. Sure. So as you walk, you're like digging things out one by one, looking through it. You open the 2 pouches first. We'll say they both looked like fine sand. Upon immediate inspection, just while walking, you can't really tell what they're for. You want to do anything with them, or are you just going to put them back? Okay. You saw one scroll, and you saw a little like box, a little lock box, which is unfortunately locked. As you try to open it, I'm assuming you're not trying to unlock it as you walk. Also, so you're probably putting that back too. The scroll. Do you want to open it and read it? Okay. So the details of the scroll mention specifically another location. Call it. They're calling it their Slaver's Cove. Does not give direct details about how to get there, but it mentions that it takes about 5 hours of travel from Starkhaven to the south. And there's like a few small details that someone familiar with the region might be able to say, might be able to guess the overall area it could be as you read through it. And you also see a note about wanting to meet there. It looks like this was a letter that was sent to the leader of the DeSantis family from someone that might be working with him, asking to meet in this area. As you continue down the road, eventually making it to your safe house, Warden, at this point, he must have gone through every body of water there is. Inland seas, rivers, small ponds. As you stroll into the inn, him now getting over to talking about how he doesn't even care for wells. You make it back into the room, and you see a now, I'm assuming, undisguised Vinny and Salros, as well as Silky, who's managed to bandage herself. So y'all have all made it back. Rocket is nowhere to be seen. Stop looking offended. You've heard nothing, Sam. The thorns were really good. The thorns actually did save you. You have 2 pretty gruesome spear wounds gouged into your back. It came out of the fog, and you were not expecting it. Do you want to try to have Salros open your little lockbox, Mortosa? Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's sleight of hand or just straight dexterity for... Well, so, yeah, hang on. Yeah, I'm wondering... He's not got his fucking thieves' tools. Oh, no, he does. They're there. Let's see. I think it's just an ability check, and he gets to add his proficient. He's not proficient, so he doesn't get to add it, but it is just an ability check, and we'll say it's dexterity. Or actually, let's see what happens. Yeah, it's dexterity. It's a 13. So he fiddles with the lock a little bit, but does not get it open initially. And he can spend more time, and he can definitely get it open given time. If y'all just want to stay there and wait while he does. Really? Why? Why? He bought Tinker's tools. I think he did give you the thieves' tools. He gave you the thieves' tools because he was going to stray and distract the guard, so he doesn't have his thieves' tools. So he cannot try to unlock the lockbox at this time. So yeah, y'all wait. It's well into the night. It's about 2 a.m. at this point. You are all in the one room, and it is no sign of Rockgut still. Rockgut, are you? No, she was able to like stop the blood from like spilling everywhere, but she like kind of like tore off a little bit of like fabric and wrapped it around, and it's definitely bloodied. And as you cast Cure Wounds, she's still looking injured and fatigued, but the wounds itself are able to close up. Rockgut, are you drinking alone, or are you just chilling in the room, waggling your feet? What's going on? Okay. Heal yourself to full. You are still disguised as the halfling, and you doing this all in the inn right now. Is it the old inn? So you are over. I'm gonna over like here, or probably over here. Probably, okay, yeah, table big enough for everybody, so over here. Very thoughtful of you. As you start to tinker, a very strange man walks up and sits down across the table from you. He is fully encased in a cloak that looks to be pretty shoddy, but a deep black that has like a long trailing tail, and he's wearing a mask. The mask's eyes glow at very light blue. And he sits down and says, "Hello." Oh, I'll only be a little bit. But I'll come say hi when your friends get here. I have a letter for, like leans in. I don't think it's for you. Well, it might be. I'll look at you again later. Have a good day. And he leaves. You see him walk off into the other side of the tavern, where he sits down on a pretty tall stool. He didn't even bring his drink over to say hi, as you can see that there's a drink waiting for him, and as he sits down, you can see his feet kind of like kicking. Well, you can keep an eye out on him. You haven't seen him drink so far. Are you gonna, as you begin to go back to your tinker's tools, you see the mask get put down off to the side, and you see the cup go up, and a waitress who was walking by, kind of like carrying a little tray, was like stopping to like look at him as the mask is off and he's drinking, and she's like very slowly like looking back, like to basically avoiding carrying the tray back over to the bar. And what are you tinkering? What are you trying to do? Did you buy gears? I don't think it comes with gears, does it? I believe they are tools. For a mechanical object, which would surprise me in this particular setting. Special tools include the items needed to pursue a craft or trade. You have like, you don't have gears, unfortunately. You definitely have some like bits of metal and the like that you could like turn into a small like puzzle if you're trying to do that, or you could go and look in the future to buy more materials if you want to make something in particular, if you have like a mind towards it. But you have the tools to do something with the materials that you didn't buy. You could just resell materials for a copper, if that's all you're trying to make. But if you want to like, that's fair. That's fair. Go ahead, and so if you click on the Tinker's tools, you see use tool. So go ahead and roll, and we'll see if you can make something. I think it's probably intelligence. That was wisdom. No, you don't have disadvantage, but you don't have proficient. No, you do have proficiency. So yeah, +2. Nice. So you're trying to make something like interesting, like a puzzle or toy or something to like fiddle with. Like a. Absolutely. You fail. But you feel like you've gotten a little closer to what you were after. You still don't have a strong vision of what you want to make, which is holding you back a little bit. But you've tinkered. For sure you've tinkered. And with that, everyone else, so y'all are in a small room with a queen bed. Silky is sprawled out on it, napping and recovering from her injuries. This was really just the meetup room, not necessarily somewhere you would sleep. Are y'all going to stay the night here? Okay. Alright, you've re-doffed your splint mail. Handed your leather armor back over to Salres, who's happy to have his armor back. As he puts it back on, you see him like kind of like measuring out the stomach. Nothing's changed about the armor, but he swears that the shoulders are no longer the right fit. And y'all are able to wait through the night. It's about 8 in the morning. Rockgut, I'm assuming at some point you stopped and went to sleep. What is everyone doing? Are you gonna like take stock of what you grabbed out of Bury the Bag? Are you gonna try to find your way to meet up with Deers, or what do you want to do? It is now Sunday. The 1v1 tournament is tomorrow, as well as the start of the festival. The 3v3 tournament is the next Saturday, and the exhibition match is the Saturday after that. You can sign up for anything. He wanted to sponsor you in the. He wanted to act like he was sponsoring you in the 3v3 or exhibition match. He said it was y'all's choice. That's the spirit. Maybe he's in jail. Yeah. There's probably a place where they have the dead, yeah. There's definitely a guard tower. Starkhaven. This is Starkhaven. Starkhaven. Kirkwall is the town that you spent a lot of time in, though, so okay. Kirkwall is one of the towns, but not the one you're currently in. Well, I thought y'all were going to enter as two teams. If you wanted to. If everyone wants to. If people want to sit out, that's totally fine. Roll for team captain. Man, I was really picturing you don't want the you need to sign up 3 days, or I'm sorry, a day in advance. So you have time to decide on the 3v3 team. You can, but you have time to decide before sign up closes entirely. Okay. So y'all want to head back to the tavern before going to the Coliseum? All right, Rocket. How have you been spending your morning? Are you waiting at the tavern, or do you want to roll insight to have remembered that there's a? Y'all are both waking up about the same time. They take some time to speak to each other. You've had this opportunity to walk down. You could eat breakfast and wait. You could have an epiphany that there was a safe house you were supposed to meet at, or you can do what you want. As you come down in the morning, he's not. Yep. Morning. Have you changed your disguise, or you still look like a halfling? Okay. Defoliates, put some more fleas on him, so he can before he goes to sleep. Okay. Morning. He looks around. There's a lot of weirdos in my tavern, and it is a relatively bustling tavern, and mostly humans, normal folk. There are some interesting group. You can make out a large Goliath sat next to what look to be like two fairly like dark skinned men in an attire that looks similar to Morteza's. And you also off in the corner make a perception check. You also spot out another man that's behaving kind of weirdly. You don't get a good look at him. He's got leather armor on with like a metal. I don't know that it's quite like a hauberk, but like a metal. Like half of it is covered in metal. The left half. You can see two swords resting next to him, and he's like drinking and like facing in a very weird way while he brings his mug around. And the two men across from him are just like looking at him weird, like, "What are you doing, dude?" Leather armor. I'm sorry, a sword and a dagger, and his left side is covered in like some metallic armor. You don't see his face though. Shut up. The man will lean in and be like, "We get a lot of weird types at the festival. We're very close to the Coliseum. A lot of fighters stay here." Are you going to be in the 1v1 tournament? What are you worried about? Who are you going to fight? So you didn't actually pick up your parakeet or whatever bird you were after yesterday, but you do. It is a new day, and you can prepare a new spell. So you can make that, and if you want to go buy a bird right now, you can do that. Okay. Yeah, it's a new day. You can change your spell as you've had a long rest. He points over at the Goliath. That guy's kind of blue. Alright. You didn't hear him. Okay. So you're off. You're off to buy a. What kind of animal are you after? Everyone else, you all have made it back to the inn, while he is haggling with a shopkeep over the animal he wants. Um, you don't see him. Okay. Okay. The barkeep. The barkeep looks at you. He's like, "Is she like light purple, maybe?" As he's like cleaning a glass. He comes back with 5 drinks. He's like, leans forward as he hands them out. Would you describe yourself as blue? Mm. Well, I think one of them, one of them uncultured folk said he was looking for you. He was really short. Yeah. Looked like he slept in the hayloft. To be honest, he better not have. If he was in one of my beds. Well, he said he. What did you say, Sam? Did you say you were going to come back? You didn't say where you were going. I know you didn't say where you were going. He said. He said he was going out on business. You said that. Both of you said that right in front of the bartender. As he hears the family and mentions the eyes, bartender's eyebrows go up, and he's like, he's like, starts humming to himself. That'll be 5. That'll be 4 silver, and like turns away. Yes, ma'am. Uh, yep. What information? Mm. He takes the gold. Okay. Before you get there, rock out. What kind of pet are you looking for here, bud? You're gonna have to be more descriptive. Hmm. So you're not looking for anything like trained. You just want a random bird. All right. As you eventually are able to find the shop, Main's like, you're after a bird. Well, I have trained falcons that can deliver messages, no problem. They're wonderful companions as well. I'll even throw in a glove for free, so you can have them land on your hand. If you prefer more of like a pet, so I have some canaries. This parrot can be trained to speak. It's not been very cooperative with me so far. The parrot goes, so far. The falcons are like half as tall as Rocket. Rocket's like 4 feet tall. These aren't huge falcons. Like peregrine falcon kind of deal. I mean, it would still look like a child handling a small falcon, but it's not. It's nowhere near the size of Rocket now. And I also have some swallows, a little pigeon. What are you in the market for? You sure I can't interest you in a falcon? Or the parrot, even. You know, wonderful companions. You look like a man that could use some companionship. Well, the man looks confused. Like, well, I mean, you're a man. Are you talking about humans? Oh. Well, yeah, I wouldn't recommend eating it, but I can't stop you. But yes, some food for the bird as well. No problem. So you just want a pigeon, you said? All right, that's fine. Brings out a small bird cage that has a pretty like frantic, kind of scruffy looking pigeon within. Is this what you're after? Okay, no problem. There should be 5 silver for the bird itself, and I'll take another 3, and I can give you, enough food to last you about a month for it. Hand you a decent sized bag. Oh, well, all right. I won't throw that in for free then. That's just a couple. It just gives you a very small pouch of food. All right. Go ahead and take 5 silver out, and throw a pigeon into your inventory. You're having to carry this cage. This is not in your bag. All right. And Warden, you were headed to the Coliseum. Is anybody going with them? Do you even announce where you're going to, or do you just hear the conversation and you just fucking left? All right. Vinny and Saros see you leave. Silky and Morteza are paying the barkeep and at least distracted at the moment. So, Vinny, are you wanting to follow him or call out to him before he gets out? He did. You can reply to this message. Saros, as Warden is outside now and headed down the street as Silky and Morteza turn around, and Saros tells everyone Warden just left for the Coliseum. Okay. All right. Okay. You have a moment. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Can you link that for me? Oh, perfect. Who are you sending that to? Yeah, you described the part of town it is. Cool. Grr. Okay. I know exactly what he means, and it's really okay. Bird leaves the cage, takes off towards that side of town. It's very interesting that you left the tavern instead of speaking to him to send him a bird threat. But the pigeon. Okay. Bird starts booking it. Um, I'm going to say that as far as timing goes, first off, none of y'all saw a man by this description in the tavern as y'all were leaving. As you, as the last of your group starts to stroll out and follow Warden, a small pigeon comes and darts in the door right as it's closing behind you. You hear the sound of a bill from within. Fucking damn it. And flap of wings. And you make your way down the street to the Coliseum. Warden, you get there first. And approach the entrance of the Coliseum. And go ahead and pull y'all over to it so you can see the map. So you make it here. And you can see a man with a few sheets sat at a desk, looking kind of bored, fairly tan, looks like a fighter. Might work here. Sort of like trying to spin a knife while he waits. There's a little bit of crowd still walking around. You see another sort of like barred. It's actually part of the Coliseum. It's not like a separate booth, but like a few barred windows and some lines walking up to them. You can make out within. There's two different, I'll say, windows, such windows, and some people behind both. And you can see that behind them there's some signs with writing on them, but you can't read what it is from where you are. Who? You're a big man. You'll do well, I'm sure. How many? Just you? We got 3 spots left. It's gonna be. Go ahead. All right. Well, it's gonna be 10 gold to enter. Prize, if you win first, is 8 times that. Rules are no killing. Now don't you worry about that. We got a team of healers off to the side, so strike as you will, but don't take the head off. And don't hit them when they're down or if they surrender. You're immediately disqualified if you do that. Hear me? Well, maiming is discouraged. We'd like everyone to be able to walk away alive and be able to go about their livelihood. But the strict rule is no killing. There'll be no fixing of any kind here. Wait, you're talking about people going headless? Jesus, please don't. If you're gonna kill someone, we can't have you join in. All right. Okay. He hands you a sheet. You can see a few names on it. Like I also got the 3v3 in the exhibitions, if you're interested in either. Big money's on the 3v3. Exhibition is really more of a show. But if you make it out alive, facing some of the beasts we've caught, there's a decent reward for that as well. Exhibitions teams of 4 to 6. And for the 3v3 is obvious, right? And as you're nodding along to this, you sign your name. There's 2 open spots left on the 1v1 tournament. It looks like it's 16 slots at the moment. That all seems to be all that have signed up. As you're about to put your name down, pen to paper, you scan up the lists, and a familiar name is sat there. Can you guess which one it is? You want me to tell you? It's not. It's a name you heard. It's a name you heard the night before. Regal. Johnny Two Blades is not on the 1v1 tournament. All right. And as you sign your name, Silky walks up behind you and followed shortly by everyone except for Rock Gut. The signer leaned forward and was like, "Is that the missus? Do your kind marry?" I was gonna say she seems like a surly one. All right. Yeah. Right. That's totally fine. I mean, it's more for an overall champion thing, but you can definitely be champion of the group, I suppose. So that'll be 10 gold, and he'll repeat the rules to you. Do you need me to repeat them? Yeah. Zara says all the money currently. All right. 10 gold we'll say 10 gold is slid over to him. Just make sure it gets deducted from whatever you have that you should be at, Benny. Poor Connor. No, you didn't. We talked about all the money being split out, but it was instead all grouped together to the group that went to buy the bag. So we'll just say 20 gold's coming out of y'all for now. Okay. We got plenty for the exhibition. 3v3, we can take 4 more teams. Push the list forward. Near the middle of the list, you see a team called Two Blades, spelled T-O-O. Well, I hang on here. So the first thing I'll say is you do not have to fill out the roster at just this point, but you do have to decide on 2 team captains. And the second thing I'll say is if you're ever going to want to have a decent shot at PvPing, you probably want Warden and Silky on separate teams. On the other hand, if Warden and Silky's team are together and they lose to the other 3, that would be hilarious. That's brutal. I was actually thinking the easiest shot to beat Warden and Silky is probably Rocket, Morteza, and Salros. Out of character. They have a lot of debuff stuff that they can do to keep them from getting in melee. But that being said, no. That's min-maxing the all free marches rejects. In character, Vinny's pissed, and Vinny just signed up as a team captain. So you have team captain Silky and you have team captain Vinny. Now they haven't decided the man's gonna lean in. This isn't really like a religious tournament. If you wanna say your prayers in private, we actually encourage that for anyone entering the Coliseum. You don't have to put down the members at this time. Yeah, you just have 2 captains. He's like, all right, if you both of you head over that way. Everyone that's signed up, please head over that way. We're just gonna, have our stenographer ID you. He's gonna draw us a little picture, make sure we got the right person coming back. I don't want anyone taking your spot, right? So Warden, Silky, and Vinny go over to a thin one-armed man with a canvas and a decent writing utensil. He's like, oh, hello. Yep. Yeah, okay. Starts drawing. And he's like really just shading in really hard for Warden. Big Warforged. He's your 1v1? Yeah? Okay, no problem. And you? Draws Vinny. Makes your eyes way too big. And your ears look very small as well. You're like standing over and being like, I do not look like that. He puts you down as a 3v3 captain. Takes your name as well. And he'll do the same for Warden. And then he gets to Silky, starts to draw the outer line. You see him toss his cool side. Someone please get me some periwinkle. Yes, of course. You see him like rubbing out some crow's feet. Describes you as a furbolg, and eventually someone comes with the color, and he's like, "This is the wrong shade," but uses it anyways. No one understands the struggles of a Coliseum artist, unfortunately. And Morteza and Salros, as you two are kind of like left to your own devices for a little bit, I'm assuming check out the other line for a second, or no? Okay, so as you walk over, you see one of them has gotten up and is writing some stuff below with like a very, it looks like they're writing names down and a brief description. You see they're adding in on the 1v1 roster. Large black warforged, crawled out of hell itself, kept the horns he stole from a demon, carries a sword in his shield. And they put some odds next to him. And as it is a betting line where you can bet on winners of the tournament or winners of a round as it's about to happen. You see some names, and you see, again, a name that you heard last night while stealing, named Regal, who, odds-wise, is very clearly the favorite to win the tournament. And they also put Silky's name down to Silky Mound. A great beast of a furbolg, blue as an ocean, twice as deadly. Carries a large battle axe and takes shit from no one. Well, you're not there. and they don't know that. They are. Odds for Silky and Warden are both 4-1. That's two. I'm sorry. 5-1. 5-1 to win the whole tournament. And he'll turn back and say, "Well, you can bet on specific rounds, day of, but at the moment you can only bet on the whole tournament. So you'd have to bet on them to win it all. Regal is 0.5. You give 2 to get 1 if he wins it all. Well, you get your money back, but yeah, you get 50% of what you put in, basically. Okay. To win the whole tournament for the 1v1, which is tomorrow. That's the only thing you can bet on at the moment. Okay. Take 2 gold out. Multiple fights in the same day. But we'll have some healers and some potions ready and little poultices and the like. So we'll freshen you up a little bit between. But a lot of volunteers from the church, you know what I mean? This is a really big thing for us. Yeah, you know, don't exhaust yourself on the first round if it's an easy one, you know what I mean? I will give you the opportunity to size up your opponent and roll. And also, if you face Warden, I'm sure you're aware it's probably going to be difficult. It's a tournament of 16. So yeah, it's a round of 16, 8, round of 4, and then finals. That's pretty bold. That's pretty bold of you to think that you're getting to the finals. Ooh. Trying to figure out which round you can go without rage. Your cloak is incredibly strong. Your cloak is +1 in a forested area and blur. Just in general, you can cast blur. You can cast blur without being in a forested area, but you do not have +1 to your AC because you won't be in a forested area. Yeah. So no, your cloak is nuts, and probably going to be what wins it for you. If I'm honest, it's going to be 20 AC versus disadvantage on every attack, and raging. Good luck, Warden. You could always try to break her battle axe. His sword can do that. And honestly, like D&D was not designed for PvP. Like there's going to be some pretty blatant imbalances. Barbarians are going to be insane at it. So I wouldn't feel too bad about it either way. But if it's not fun after the first round, you do not have to participate in the threes if you want to back out. So Rockgut, as you get back to the inn, your pigeon is kind of like bouncing around. It is no longer in the inn; it's sitting outside. Doesn't seem to have found Mr. Two Blades. Okay. He's a coward through and through. All right. He's never gonna find y'all. That's fine. All right. Everyone else. Yeah, he's not just wandering around trying to cast message every now and then. That's sending. Different spell. Rocket's not doing too hot in the common sense rolls. You're good. Okay. What are the rest of y'all doing? Warden placed a little bet on Silky and Rockgut separately. Y'all actually see him placing his money down as he gets through the line right as y'all have finished having your drawings done. What do you want to do? You still have no idea where Rockgut is. Morteza is chilling in line with Saros, placing his bet. And you'll have opportunities to bet more the next day, if you like. Yeah, it's still very early in the morning. Buy some materials, or you want to learn from them? You want to gain... Okay, so you want to gain... You already have proficiency. You're trying to get up to expertise? Or are you trying to... All right. Yeah, I'm happy to help. I mean, you want to like... You're trying to copy what I make? Well, I'm not really looking to make a competitor in my biggest sales period of the year. I think. Uh-huh. Oh, I'll tell you what. I'm happy to give you some tips and tricks for today, but it's going to be about 3 gold. You know, for advice. Good advice. All right. Well, man, I'm happy to show you a few little easy blueprints to get you started if you like, but not for free. It's nothing personal. All right. I'll say if you, Sam, if you do want, we can both do some research on things you could do with the Tinkerer's tools. I don't have anything super in mind right now, specific. No, I have no problem with you having some decent ideas on how to make any of them. You just need to buy materials. I have done no research into Tinkerer's tools, and you're just hit. Oh, I'm sorry. You can do. You have already done some research, and you have 3 things that you just were able to spout off. You didn't want to say any of those earlier. If you want to make a music box, you can say I want to go look for materials to try to make a music box. Okay, well, there are definitely material shops around you when you're speaking with that man if you want to buy something now. Okay, that's fine. Sure. Well, you gotta, no, but you do need to buy a pick at some point. Okay. What is everybody at the Coliseum doing? Okay. You're gonna go to the temple. Festival is tomorrow. Tournament's gonna be most of the first day for at least the competitors. Other people will have opportunity to do games, or you can all hold off and do games the second day, and enjoy placing wagers on how well Silky and Warden do. I'm going to try to move through combat very quickly, since there's only going to be 2 of you. Okay. So, out of character, we're probably having the next game this Sunday. Was my plan, which you are not going to be here for, right, Betsy? I thought y'all were out of town this coming Sunday. Oh, okay, never mind then. I was gonna say I was gonna push. Okay, so what I was gonna say is if one of the 2 people that wanted to fight could not make it, I was gonna push it back and say we do the festival on Monday. If you want to have games and the like, and I say the fighting tournament's actually on Tuesday, which I might still do because Clark didn't really get to do anything today, obviously, and he's gonna be coming back to a potentially pretty long tournament, or we might divide the party a little bit, one of the 2. So. Not 100%. I'm going to think about that a little bit more. The 1v1 will either be not as combat oriented and more of like some just general quick rolls until you fight each other and potentially the final, to move it a lot faster. And the festival will have the opportunity for games, vendors, the like, concerts. Anything y'all wanted to do is like downtime. The first few days will be, and the weekends will be the large parties with a lot of people. It'll just be a lot of increased shopping until then. And then the 3v3 tournament we'll probably look to have within the next 2 sessions, if we can make it there. Yeah, we have a little bit we can do left right now. Sure, you totally can. What is everyone else doing? um, like a mini Colosseum. Um, you you see a few things. You see one person frantically carving small figurines, and you see hanging in front of him the drawings used to make the captains. As he's looking up at a Warden drawing right now, trying to get the horns right on a first figure before he goes down to the rest of the body. Um, and you see, yeah, I mean, you find like a general, like a few little stands around. There's some food stands. There's some stands that, some magical wares here. Get ready for the tournament. Any potion you're after? We got magical swords. He's like waving a sword around the air. Cheap, very cheap. Excellent in a fight. And you see another shop that sells. We'll say next to the figurine shop, you see a small thing. It's like, build your own Colosseum. Fight your gladiator battles. All figurines, up to 5 figurines, fit perfectly in this perfect replication of the Colosseum. Okay. It Well, it requires some assembly. I'll say it's probably about like. Can you see me here, Chris? It's about this big. Yay. Maybe like a little over a foot across, and it breaks down into 6 separate pieces. I'll say they're like kind of collapsible. He sells them with a little bag that you can take them in. Oh yeah, very nice, excellent material, guaranteed to not break. I'm not going to give you your money back if it does, but if you're interested, it's easy 3 gold. Well, I'm trying to think about a good price for it. Okay. I was hovering between 2 to 3 gold. For this, the figurines are cheaper, but the Colosseum, yeah, they're sold separately. Oh well, we don't. It's a different business. He does his thing. I do mine. But this one's 3 gold. But the fig. We just work at the festival, and we're here to just make some extra money. I have to go back to the fields after this. Do you want to buy it, or? Oh, okay. All right. Well, that'll be 3 gold. Oh, well, what figurine do you want? My associate's still carving, but I can I can help him sell them. We don't know each other though. Nope. We just work next to each other. You know how it is. He's like glancing around. He probably knows that guy pretty well. Oh no, I mean, you know, he's got other figures. He's just making some of the new contestants. But we have some figures from last year. Last year's champ. Oh, okay, okay. Well, what about we got a nice Regal figure. He won the last tournament, and he's in it again this year. And we have we have a very large orc that won about 3 years ago. Maybe a half orc. I don't really remember. He's very strong. We also do. We'll be offering more sales of these after the 3v3 tournament, as we'll have some time to make some new figurines and we'll sell them all at the exhibition match. Yeah, well, you know, we don't have all the pictures of everyone yet, so we are only doing the captains, and then we'll do the members once we're done. Oh, okay, that's that. Yeah, it's totally acceptable. Now, was his name? I thought his name was Jackson Two Blades. Yeah, that's okay because yeah, stop taking J names because I was planning on doing that with him. He's not going to still be Jackson Two Blades. It's a well-known name. Okay. Stop taking J names. The J names are mine to use. Um, all right. Yeah, please don't behead him, or do if you want. Sure are going to be disqualified. Totally. Um, okay. And with that, I'm assuming y'all are done at the arena. Is there anyone else that wants to buy anything? Check out the little magical shop, or you know, grab a few figurines early. I'm here all week, he says at an oddly convenient time. What are you stewing about? All right. So, you make it back to the tavern. Oh, shit. Jesus Christ, I'm dragging the map. Make it back to the tavern. All of you. Oh, sorry, you're going to the temple first. Okay, well, are y'all headed back to the tavern or not? Okay. So, the temple. As you approach the temple, you see what looks to be a series of crates being brought in and taken down to the basement. The cardinal is standing outside, looking very pleased with himself. And he sees you coming up. Ah, hello. Come to reconsider, my son. Ah. Very well. Well, if you do feel like reconsidering, we're actually beginning construction on a beautiful statue of the Platinum Dragon, Bahamut himself. Shipped the materials and the design over. He brought a sculptor in from Ruturia. It'd be wonderful. It's going to be made of solid gold. He like watches you go by. And you see like you'll catch out of the corner of your eye like a little bit of a contemptuous sneer. And you head down into the basement easy enough. Tithus is not in the same shrine, unfortunately, as you head down there. You do see some clerics nearby, though. Oh, yeah. Right this way. It's actually the same cleric that you passed by that gave you directions the first time. He's like, yeah, it's not a big deal. And he leads you over into a bath room. Literally a large bath in the basement. And Titus is sitting out there. Hello again, friend. Do you want to join me? Nah, you're good. I'm assuming when you didn't, definitely not, because you doffed armor that had no blood on it. Sure. Do you need me to get dressed first, or are we good? Like, all right. He's gonna stand up. He'll put a towel around him. Come. Let's head back in. You do. He sits down. He walks in, and the cleric gives him a funny look and goes a little like jump as you come back in. Hello. Get out. All right. Bye. He'll come and he sits back down near Tithus. He spreads his legs a little bit wider than you think is appropriate for a dwarf in a towel. Decided to commune with your god now. So, you want me to try to speak with him, or you just want his blessing? Because you can, I mean, I didn't have to get out of the bath. You can worship him yourself before the tournament. All right, no problem with me. Listen, it's shit. I gotta set something up real quick. Sorry. Alright. So, you want to try to speak with him. You want to speak with him now, before, I thought you were hoping to offer something. I mean, he's a powerful god. It's always going to be a little bit of chance that he answers. I doubt it really makes a difference before or after, if you're ready to speak. Okay. Give me 1 second. Nope. It can be separate if you want it to be. If they're bored, that's on me, not on you.
Tithus's eyes. Tithus's eyes go blue as he begins to pray. You were supposed to hear thunder, did you? Or no? Damn it. Don't think I won't, boy. The sounds of thunder fill the room as his eyes open. They're vibrant blue. Hello, little blade. It's good to see you walking the waking world again. Tell me, what do you remember of your master? Do you have your oath for me and for him? Nothing again. It is not the first time we speak, little blade. These are acceptable words. Tell me, do you remember your master? The one you first offer words to? Do you want the easy way out? These words are also accepted. This is the first oath that you will offer to me in this instance of your waking. I look forward to the next, and I wish you well in your tournament.
And with that, Tithus' eyes go blue. And he blinks, looks around. Jumps up, grabbing you by the shoulders.
Did he do it? Did he speak to you?
His towel has fallen away. He picks up his towel, puts it around.
I understand. That is amazing. I've not gotten to hear his words but once my whole life. Visit me again
When you have time. Perhaps we will take a bath together. He claps you on the shoulder. You can see there's a real respect in his eyes, and interest as well.
I would like to speak to you and learn more.
When you have the opportunity. Okay. How's that voice changer? I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed the lightning didn't work. I had a lightning sound effect I was going to enter into it with. All right. So what was everyone else doing while Warden was at the temple? All right, y'all. Everyone else. Did y'all go back to the tavern to find? Okay. You're feeling pretty limber. You do some yoga for a while. Where were you going, Biddy? You're wandering around town, not going back to the tavern? Okay, before you get there, Morteza and Saros make it back. Morteza, you walk in and eventually you spot Rockgut, who's in the corner. You actually looked there first because you bet that was where he would likely be. You pull it out of the box and start putting together the Coliseum. It doesn't take very long. It's pretty easy to connect everything. Well made. You know, with the right materials, you could potentially make this with some tinker's tools. It's like a very thin bronze sheets. I didn't describe it, so don't worry about it. But I did describe it as collapsible, which wood is not. Well, he didn't land on the tree last night, so. Okay. As y'all finish talking, Vinny comes back, and a little bit later, Warden arrives, returned from the temple. Silky, are you still doing yoga? Or are you coming back? Yeah. Okay, so everyone comes back to the table, sit down, maybe some drinks, and I'm gonna steal Groovy Bot for a little bit. I don't know that anyone saw you cast spells. So you were obscured by the fog. Um, well, when it dropped, you were like moments from getting thrown out the window. The only one they would have seen is Warden in the cloak. Yeah, that's fair. They might have seen you. They definitely caught a little glimpse of a cloaked figure. The team called Two Blades was on the list. You still want him on your team, Silky? Hmm? Well, you might not even draw the Two Blades team because I'm gonna roll the dice. The only fixed part of it is that y'all won't fight in the first round. You haven't heard. You don't know that, but that is true. I'm gonna, out of character, I'm gonna go watch. Sam, we were talking a little bit about Ratchet and Clank a while back. There was an old game for the PS2 called Up Your Arsenal with an amazing commentator. I'm gonna pull some inspiration. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. All right, y'all ready to wrap up? Okay. So as y'all finish your conversation, you see a figure start to stroll up with glowing blue eyes and a long cloak, billowing. He walks up. Hello. And that's where we'll end the session. It's nice to see you all. All good. Sam, no. He just saw a man. He saw a man that had two blades and was wearing armor that just happened to be metal on the left side of his body. Yeah. Right before he went to buy the pigeon. Yeah, you gave it away. Sam, did you know before they fucking said that? strangest threat I've ever seen. Well, he was drinking at the tavern, and you saw his name a little above where y'all signed up on the three, or you saw a team name that could have been him a little bit above y'all on the threes list. So he may have just signed up and stopped in for a drink. You certainly haven't seen him here before. And your first go for was pigeon death threats? Well, would they? Would they attack the dude? It has to be a tiny creature for the spell. Let's see. Tiny beast you can see within range. So you'd have to choose like a small poisonous snake and hope that they would then immediately attack him. He would definitely have to deal with like a lot of small poisonous snakes. You'd you'd also need to have been correct about the location they were in. Otherwise, you're gonna have 100 snakes waiting in a tavern for a day to give a message. For sure. That spike spell was clutch as fuck. the fog, honestly, pretty whatever. How much time y'all spent talking about them? I was like, every 15 seconds, I was like, I'm gonna move them up one, and I just like slowly creeped them through the darkness until they made it through the room. They might not be dead. I mean, there was a house fire very near that person's body pretty recently after, but the spikes were only there for like 10, 20 minutes. They could have got him. He probably, he might have lived, just been unconscious on the spikes. But there was definitely a fire raging next to him that could have been bad. Well, no, Chris missed with this fire, and it just went near the guys, who also happened to be near the large vats, which is why I ruled that eventually a fire definitely started. But yeah. So how has the second chapter been so far? We've done a little bit. There's definitely been a lot more RP, a lot less dungeon crawling. Although we had some combat on the way to Starkhaven, although obviously less over here. Sorry, Warden, it's coming. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad y'all are still enjoying a little bit more of the RP stuff. Is there any anything in particular y'all are hoping to do within the next 2 sessions aside from the obvious tournaments? Anything you want to try to do in the festival or with the Profashi family? Just give me like a little heads up on what your characters are thinking about right now. I got carnival games, bud. Can't wait for Silky and Warden to do the real 1v1 tournament with an arm wrestling contest. It is worth noting, if you don't go to see the Profashi family soon, your funds are rough at the moment. No, not forfeit. Just you spent 650 gold at a magical shop. You had somewhere in the region of like 800 to 900, and you didn't loot. What did y'all loot from the rooms on the second floor as you walked